Hello everyone, welcome back. We got more mono red. Always got mono red. Not necessarily that I'm the hugest fan of it. This is just mono red Prowess. It's just always a deck you got to watch out for, especially when new sets drop. New sets dropping in any format, mono red generally takes front and center stage because of clunky decks, little bit mismanaged mana, or like a card's not as good as you thought it was, so mono red is just crushing you the whole time. So what better time to try out some of the clunky red cards now? You know what I'm saying? So the cards we're trying out today are the Blood Feather Phoenix. Can't block, which is not really that important because we're trying to turn them sideways anyway. The main thing we're wanting to do is kind of play this as a value card on 2. Maybe make it a 3/3 with a Kamano. They remove it in kind of just the same way that Phoenix Chick finds its value in Standard, bringing it back on end steps or during combat with Play with Fire and Lightning Strike, wherever Lightning Strike is, and Stoke the Flames. But if you don't know what this does, what it does is you can pay a red whenever you deal damage to a player with an instant or a sorcery, and this comes back from the graveyard with haste. So if you have multiple of these, you can do multiple of them. So say you have 3 mana, you Play with Fire them, you pay 2 red, you bring back 2 of these, you bring in 4 damage to attack them with in the air. And flying creatures is sometimes kind of harder to deal with. Like soldiers has a hard time dealing with them because they trade with about everything they have in terms of flying. Maybe not the 2/3s, but they have a lot of 3/2s, and then a lot of their creatures on the ground can't stop this. Other than that, we tried the Spell Spear. I messed up at one point by not realizing it was a sorcery to flip it. I'm big dumb. Other than that, we got this up to a 7/7 by casting a Stoke the Flames at the end, which was really sweet. We played against Control. We fought through a ton of Wandering Emperors with this deck, which isn't very common whenever you're playing red. I had one game, 3 of them was cast, we won, and then another game where 2 of them were cast and exiling our threats, and we still got there. So the deck has been resilient. One last note, Rend Resolve is just Reckless Impulse. If you don't know what it is, I got top 2 cards of your library. You may play them till the end of your next turn. And that, we got the staples. We got these 1-drops and Lightning Strike. We have the Phoenix Chick and the Squeeze. Other than that, we're here. The only thing I said, these can come down and this could go up. And I'm not playing Mistress Foundry because I wanted to focus on the new cards and kind of see how good they were. We kind of know where Mistress Foundry is. You could probably go ahead and make this like that and add 2 more Foundries or something like that. But I also like the deck just being red, so I never need it for like Stoke the Flames or like all these little red cards. Other than that, hope you enjoyed the video. It was pretty fun to play, and see you in the games. Luck, flashbang. Red Shamackum. Shamack. This makes looking at my screen so complicated, by the way. Combat first. How much they care about this. Bonk. We're actually going to hold this. We're going to tempo this, I think. This screams Play with Fire to me. Yeah, so we didn't want to play into that. Most likely what we'll do is we will either Lightning Strike something important or Play with Fire to manipulate the top of our deck. Feldon, kind of important. I think we can outrace Feldon here. So I'll let it hit. If that's the case, go ahead and Lightning Strike because it's more mana efficient. There's not a whole lot of better 2 cards. Stoke the Flames, really nice. Play Spell Spear again. We're fine because now we can put that to 3. They have to Lightning Strike it. If they Play with Fire it, we feel incredible because we get to put the Prowess on it. Got Trample and Prowess. And on the backside, it has Prowess 2 times. Really Lightning Strike it here. It's fine. We'll let that go. That's 3 damage not hitting my face, so I'm pretty fine with that. Feldon hitting. No land drop here is even a better reason not to remove the Feldon. Don't let them get to their mechanized warfare if I can choose not to. Then a land because we knew we'd draw a land, of course. Hit again. Neither of our things can block. I have Stoke to Flame. I play with fire. They hit a land. They're going to attack me. I'm going to allow it. Stoke the Flame seems great here because it's just 4 damage that we can put in. Why not? Hit like a squee or a land, you know. We probably could have put a stop on our upkeep there, but chose not to. Oh, feeling the pressure, huh? Play a land and turn. Stop them on their turn. We're going to get Lightning Strike, get hit for 2. Or play with fire. It's fine. I really thought we both just had all 3, like, not all 3. We played 4, but just the amount of times play with fire has gone on the stack for both of us. It's kind of wild. Throwing the hit again. Probably just more burns, so creature play is a little tough. At bottom, I kind of want something better. Something better has come. Alright, figure it out, homie. You got land plus 2 lightning strikes in there? We will come back from the graveyard even if they remove it. So they have to remove it during their turn. If they remove it now, we call that a punt. Ooh! Another cool card. Very nice. Let me see this. Deals 5 damage to target creature, planeswalker, or battle. Look at the top X card of your library, where X is the excess damage dealt this way. You may reveal... You may exile one of those cards, put the rest on the bottom in a random order. So you play the exile card this turn. It's pretty expensive for that deck, though. Playing mono red and trying to play that it's pretty tough, honestly. A lot of mana. Alrighty, this is the hands we like to see. With Spear, attack, followed probably by Rend Resolve. Maybe see if we can't fish out more lands or find like some action. If we hit 2 non-creature stuff, it's gonna be a little bit weird. Land a Kamano, so it feels a little bit better that we did that. We got a land follow-up, 2 more in hand. Kind of flooding a little bit already here. It's like even a little part of me doesn't want to play this Kamano. I'm a lot happier about playing the Kamano now because I can play the Phoenix Chick next turn. Play the Kamano down. We won't miss a damage here, but we get it back next turn by making it a 2/2, and then it's just bigger for the rest of the game. We'll take this. We'll take a card for 2 damage. Our decision, it seems like. A little part of me wants to lightning strike this. Heroes do exist. But do I? I'm gonna need this to remove like other things potentially. So no. We can do it on their upkeep here or before they go to combat if we wanted to. Well, let's see if they want to protect it. Even if they counter Lightning Strike again, it's another spell from their hand, so it's not too upsetting. They counter, that means Squee resolves. That gets removed. Okie dokie. More lands equal more fun, didn't you know? We'll play the Phoenix Chick. To be or to not to be. To commit or not to commit. I think we commit. No counter magic, but probably a Void Rend. Infernal Grasp. They take 2 life anyway, that's fine. Attack here, we're pretty close. They're also counting my graveyard. I have 6 lands in hand. Doesn't feel that incredible. File this. I mean, I just have a Wandering Emperor screaming at me, but this is a force them to have it play. And they have it.
I've learned much during my travels.
It'll be Exile Phoenix Chick, make a 2/2 next turn.
This is what you
I'm gonna
get
play
for
a
hurting
Phoenix.
my people.
Kind of where we are with this. Another Guardian. Maybe they make it a 3/3. They could. You might feel like their life total is healthy enough to withstand it, but they don't.
Let your blade
You have a flyer. You find another flyer. I'm also down to just attack all out because they trade. I can bring a squee back. Also, there's the option that they just let a lot of this damage go through. They don't want to lose their board. Call my bluff. We'll get rewarded for it. Or maybe they'll discard a card in results to maybe thinking I will. Oh, let's go. I have nothing. This is why you always attack. This is why you always attack, team. To play out the rest and get farewell, they have to have land farewell, and they're like a creature-based strategy. So I think I just play everything out. Try my best here. It happens. It happens. I think. I think we've all been in this spot. It's like, do I commit or do I not commit? They have to deal with squee. They'll go to 1. But if they have exactly land farewell, like, I'll lose to that any day of the week. Lightning Strike being a huge draw. Wandering Emperor potentially the hit here. That also sucks. But they'll only gain 2. They'll go to 7. Depending on how they block. Get to combat, squeal, make a 1/1. They ain't sure to let that trigger resolve before doing anything else. So we'll have exactly lethal still because of this block specifically. They'll exile 1, they'll take 4, and then we'll lightning strike them. They just needed to put Guardian in front of the 2/2.
You are not much of a roadblock.
Bonk. And Spell Pierce stuff will not get them home, so we grind this game out. I'm sorry, opponent. Sometimes it's got to be that way. Mono red coming in, doing the work again. Playing into Wandering Emperors, but didn't really have a choice. Swift Spear, play with fire, followed up by a squee. And if we flood this time, we have a Sokazon in our hand, so we feel fine about it. Keep it up. Keep it up. Mono red. This play with fire is gonna have to be a lightning strike real fast, and right on cue it is. What's upsetting me, I think, the most is the vampire, the bloodthirsty adversary, I think it's called. The red colorless haste one. It's kind of getting pushed out a little bit. And that card's sweet for like late game strategies. And we got blue-red here. Gonna lose our Swift Spear, which is fine. We get to play another Swift Spear and then play this on the following turn. I think the goal is to just let Swift Spear go. I didn't attack. Are you serious? Mono red gamer, initiate. Stop talking. Be noodlehead. Attack. Playing the ultimate defense right now. We didn't want to attack at all. We're playing defense. You wanted to attack. Come on, get them in there. Swing them in. Honestly, if my opponent didn't attack me with the Swiss Spear, I'd be confused too. Like, why didn't they attack? What do they have for me? What spice is happening on the other side of the table? If I attack, do I just lose everything? I hope so. That's what I'm rooting for. Moment of truth. Look at the top 3 cards of the library. Put one of the cards in your hand, one in the graveyard, and one on the bottom of your library. Is this an instant speed spell card? Oh, can this be the Phoenix? Are you doing Phoenix things? I hope so. Ah, it's just Fading Hope. Sure. I have like too many options. I'm playing the Prowess guy. Fading Hope's pretty brutal here for this, but attack. Sure. Turn. We're trying to keep our Spell Sphere alive from a play with fire like that. We're willing to lose it next turn, but right there, we just basically negated their play with fire. All board wipe me. Moment of Truth, another one. Oh, they kind of messed up. The auto tapper, I think, got him there. They played a land already, and it auto tapped their Shivan Reef. So that kind of tells us they only have red cards in the hand. Well, also, they now have no blue for Fading Hope and stuff after they resolve their Moment of Truth. Auto tapper will be a troll character sometimes if you let it. Alright. We're committing here. We'll play Kamana. We have a Lightning Strike at instant speed to save the Swift Spear in case they had another play with fire. They do not. We get a squee down and we attack for 6. 5, because that's how math works. Oh no, the Shreddy boy. Not the Shredder. Lightning Strike. Trigger on Shredder. This is going to be where I can never remove this Ledger Shredder in my entire life. Uh-huh. Yep. That's it. I have 4 cards. We hit a land. Land's not entirely great. I mean, just attack here. That's enough for me to remove it. I don't want them to keep getting the card value. They didn't want to trade off my Swiss Spear because they didn't want me to be able to bring back the Squee, I believe. Third Moment of Truth. I don't know how many more copies of this card they need, but, you know, it's a lot. Although, watching this deck has given me some kind of, like, inspiration how I want to build the blue-red version of this deck with, like, the Phoenixes and stuff, and potentially this creature, because I didn't quite know where to go with it once I put a couple of blue cards in. So obviously consider strong and things like that, but I kind of forget that, like, Shredder's legal. Things along that line. I can bring back the Squee, but to not lose it to make this play here, we have to play the land in our hand. I'm going to be a hard counter spell, I don't think, with only 1 blue available. I don't know if there's a 3-mana counter spell that's not 2 blue. Could be a burn spell. You get to Squee back into my graveyard. No? Tanking. That make a little suspect. I get it because it doesn't do a ton, but also we hit you for 3 here, and then this comes back down and it'll hit you for the 4th. Not gonna lie, I don't know if they did that as I was trying to declare attackers or not, and I kind of just said screw it. They unearth here. To get 3 cards back, which is super sweet. I'm not sure how great that is. This is going to go away. Unless they bounce it to their hand, I think. Which doesn't do anything because then they're dead on board. And unless they can remove something, they're dead on board anyway. Or if I, as a mono red deck, can do the thing like not draw a land here, that'd be sweet. Happens. Don't go out like this. Bonk my noodle and call it a day. Another Swift Spear coming in and going to enter as a 2/3. So now if they even bounce or anything, they technically still live, but not as hard as me. On the draw, we have ace. Kept that. We'll keep 2, I suppose. Alright, Swift Spear, go get removed. Play Swift Spears first, because when cast the Rend Resolve next turn, or with the Prowess trigger, or I just hold it because they have Make Disappear and I don't give them value. Turn. Make them tap out on their instead if they want to do something. I want to prevent this damage. They counter it now. Let me do whatever I want on my turn. And we hit the land. We're just so talented at the game. We can't be stopped. Play a Phoenix check. Even if this gets countered, we're fine with it. We're trying to progress. If this doesn't get countered, I don't know what's happening anymore. Okay, update. I don't know what's happening anymore. Attack. You can take the hit, land the Wandering Emperor me next turn. That'd suck. Union. They negated about every piece of damage that I did so far. Ooh, no, not the pass. Please don't pass. I don't like that. Play this Rand, get the value. Why not? With Spear and other land. You know how I like my lands. With Spear, they have some form of interaction. I don't know what it is. Do I just pass and then just ping them for 4 on instead? Or do I attack, get my thing exiled? I think my thing exiled sounds sweet. I think waiting for this is bad. Basically negate my attack if they Wandering Emperor me, so I'll just actually wait. So I can have a little bit more of a pop-off turn here. Union, sure. Also, Stoke to Flame is definitely a counterable target, for sure. It's a land drop. That's just auto pay. It'll figure it out. Resolve, please. Choose the Wandering Emperor now. They'll get the exile creature. They syncopate that, so Wandering Emperor is offline. Which means my window is pretty much open. I can get depopulated next turn. But, you know, I care about that. Play Ren, they can counter this if they'd like. I'm definitely getting the damage in, why the damage is good. And we have a great follow-up plan. Holy. Sure. Alright, we got them officially at 19 on turn 6 or 5 or whatever it is for us. They hit a land. That's either great or bad for us. Which one's on Soul Partition? You are. We'll play another land. We'll salam this squee. In here, I can just attack, I think. Get him in there. Yeah, Wandering Emperor coming down. Not a whole lot we can do to prevent that. I'm not going to keep sitting here and waiting. Like, they gain 2. I hit for 4, so it's a net 4 or net 2. Then we'll get to play the Spell Spear. We'll get board wiped here. We'll call it a day. Okay, they make it 2-2, which screams another Wandering Emperor. Nothing else. I'm not hitting a whole lot of lands, which might be better for me because it screams farewell, of course. We will flip this. I don't know why it's acting like it's highlighting all 6 of my mana over there. This now has Ward 2, so it can't be exiled, and it also has Trample. Do I just attack with this and like maybe... How much? 1, 2. I need to keep 2 creatures back. Like absolutely Toronto here. They put Wandering Emperor on the stack. I can stoke the flames, hit him for 4. This will hit for 4. They can't remove it. They could try. Sure. That's a lightning strike. Do this as well. Could have done this the opposite way. This is going to be the time that this hits for a ton and we're just like fine with it. Even if they do that, they're still taking 6.
Run away.
Okay. Uh-huh.
You are not much of a roadblock.
You're at 4. I even untap farewell, make it 2-2. I have a squee to come back. Maybe. They concede. Sweet. Man, Prowess 2 throws your creatures so fast. And look at that. What a way to end it. Diamond. Mono red coming for you. All the way. All the way. Easiest. I don't know what it is. I have like Discord up in the background. And I'm really nervous because it's been locked on a spot. Somebody else is like streaming in the Discord. And I just see a collected company on the stack, and it's been on the stack for like 30 minutes. I don't know if the screen's just froze. I mean, it is, obviously, but like somebody over there is doing some bad stuff. Sweet. We're going to talk about this a little bit. And kind of what I like, what I don't like. I recorded yesterday, and I was on record saying that Stoke the Flame I thought was bad. Because I'm just dumb, and I forgot how Convoke works. So I forgot if your creature is red, it can also pay for the red symbols. So that's something to watch out with this card. It's not just tap 2 creatures, pay 2 red. This can be entirely free if you just have the 4 creatures in play. And I forgot that that's how that worked. So I plan on playing like a blue-red Prowess list. That's why this was called blue-red Prowess. But this is just mono-red Prowess. Where I play this. But let's talk about mono-red first. I played a couple games off recording because I didn't want to just like record and get throttled and then just like delete it. So I played a couple games beforehand, and Bloodfeather Phoenix was actually pretty sweet. We had a situation off camera in which I went to declare attackers and I had a squee in play, so they removed my squee because they didn't want me to make a token. If you're like a little bit confused, this makes a token when you declare an attacker, not when it goes to combat, whatever. So they removed this, but because I hadn't declared attackers yet, I was able to play with fire, bring back this Bloodfeather Phoenix that they removed earlier because it was a 3/3 off of a Kamano. So I got to bring it back before I declared my attackers and then declare it as an attacker instead. So I still was able to get that 2 extra damage in that Squee would have provided me. in response and just like constantly take cards out of their hand, because one of the things that mono red likes to do is make you waste cards on things that aren't that valuable. That's why like Phoenix Chick is so strong. And the brothers, I don't know why we just call them the brothers, they're both Phoenixes, together are pretty decent. We never got to bring this back necessarily. The big downside to this though is definitely the problem in which like it doesn't have haste in this mono red version. Having haste would be bonkers just in general, but it does get it when you bring it back from the graveyard. So I do feel like this will be a slightly better in a blue red build, especially when you have like a ledger shredder triggering to discard it. You have considers, if it's on your top deck you can throw it in the graveyard and then bring it back, things like that. But then we have the spell spear that we tried out today. Also think it'll be strong in blue red, but we saw in our last game there that 2 spells, this thing was a 7/7. Gets massive really quick, hard to remove the Wandering Emperor, has that trample so they can't just chump it. And then we also like had the Stoke with Flames. Stoke with Flames was actually sweet. I underrated this card a little bit because of the fact that it was whatever, but I did draw a lot of lands, so it kind of made me a little bit whatever, because I was able to cast this very frequently, and I only played 3. I think 4 might be a bit much, because eventually you just want to attack with your creatures. You don't want to keep holding this back. But this being instant speed kind of changes the value of the card, whereas this was a sorcery, unplayable probably. Rend Resolve, new card, not a new card. This is just Reckless Impulse. Put it in here for the spice, you know. And then Lightning Strike, Play with Fire, Swift Spear, Kamano, all these cards, we know what they do. And I ran in like 21. I probably could have done something like this. Maybe been a little bit more valuable that way, play some of the Foundries. But I didn't really want to play Foundries because I wanted to focus on the creatures this time around and getting the value that way. But I hope you all enjoyed. I know it's mono red. It's the Ooga Booga Brain deck. But is what it is. Very strong on new sets in any format. Because when people are trying new cards, you just get to bully them for their decks being clunky. But hope you have a good one wherever you're watching from, and we'll see you later.